Alrighty, the Amx-12T. Today I've been thinking about this tank a bit. Not all day, that'd be sad, but been playing it. I realised when I was doing this video I hadn't actually put a top engine in it, and I've played 90 odd battles, whatever it is. That's a bit sad, isn't it? What a knob. Why didn't I do that? Yeah, it's a bit confusing really. Anyhow, 58% apparently with the bottom engine. It's a really great training tank, and that's why I want to put it on, because it rewards careful gameplay, not like what you just saw there. I want to stick that on because it just shows you what will happen in this tank if you're not thinking about the game, or you just get a little bit lazy, or you just taking a phone call and chilling out in the middle of the map, spotting things up and getting shot in the ass by KV2. So why do I recommend this tank as a training tank? My mate Rotter Looks back in the day used to say play the A20. Before the contribute community explodes all over me and goes, the A20 was a seal clubbing tank. The A20 was a really great training tank because it basically rocked around the battlefield in a pretty mobile way. It had no gun depression, and you had to think about your positioning. You had to get in the arse of things in order to kill them. You had to also think about the burst damage that you could put down, and you had to think about not getting shot, because in fact if you got shot in that tank it would explode just like you saw in the Amx-12T. So the Amx-12T, if you like, is a nice little tier 6 tank. It will teach you a lot of things. So the first thing is it will teach you how to play a tank with no gun depression, that's for sure. It will teach you how to play a tank which has reasonable if not exceptional penetration. It will teach you how to play a tank that has considerably good sort of burst damage because it's an autoloader, but it will teach you how to play an autoloader. It will also teach you how to flex and get around the back of things because you need to shoot them in the butt most of the time. And it will also teach you how not to get shot, because when you play this tank you've got 960 odd hit points. That's it. And as you saw, you know, with my potato at the beginning of the game, you can get what is proverbially known as KV2. You can get SU-100 wide. You can get just wiped out by stuff if you are not paying attention. So although it's not the easiest tank in the world to play, it is one of the most satisfying, kind of when you get it right. I was talking to lads on chat earlier, and I was saying, I put this game just in clan chat, I was saying, oh, it's quite a good game. And they were talking about the end of the game and saying, well, you could have played that better. And I agree with them, actually. Not this bit where I'm just farming the TOG and all the rest of it, but at the end of the game, you'll see me make some mistakes. I'm yet to play a perfect game in Blitz, and that's what keeps me playing Blitz. And tanks like this are what make me keep playing Blitz. Not driving OP, premiums, doing this, doing that, doing the other, but driving tanks that are genuinely tough to play, tough to ace, tough to master, tough to get right. And here we go. So here's the auto-loading bit. You can actually see my load start here. So I'm looking at the distance between the SU-100Y and the Amx-12T, and I reckon I'm going to be reloaded way in time to put one in him. And then I know the distance between the clips, so I know I can get another one in to go over the ridge, and I hope not to get shot in the butt by the KV1S. And I don't, so that's all good. And then there's going to be a little bit of me driving around, and this is usually the part of the game whereby if you drive this tank or a light that you start to get abuse in chat. In fact, the KV1, Iran, I've played with him a few times, and he's kind of a helpful guy. He's really nice and trying to kind of, I don't mind rocking around with him. I'm trying to teach him the game a bit, and it's kind of cool. So I'm not actually getting abused for once. This is usually the part of the game where you're driving around and you're just flexing around the map. You've got 3 minutes 52 left on the clock. You've got full hit points. You know that you've got good burst damage. You just want to know where the KV1S is because you don't want to get hit unnecessarily. So you're just taking the time, see where he's going to go. And that's basically it. And the AMX is a sort of tank you can do that in. You know, you'll get abused for playing it like this, but you just ignore them. You're just playing the tank for what it is. So the KV1S is capped, and one of the other sort of great things about playing all tiers of the game and playing all different tanks is that once you've played them, you know their properties, if you like. So KV-1S I've played, I don't know, 250 games in it probably, and I know the tank backwards, so I kind of know if I look at this tank here, I know he's got top gun for a start. I also know the reload on the top gun, so where he fires there, I know how long I've got to get close to him. So basically I always count on, yeah, I mean someone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but usually KV-1, KV-1S, and usually count to about 18 between reloads. Now look, there's variables within that, but effectively, you know, they might be running the rammer, they might be doing this, they might be doing that. I know what the role, I know that I can take at least one off him, and then I know that I can clip him out. What I should have done there is I pulled back is track him, and that's what the guys were saying in chat. And like I said, I've never played the perfect game in Blitz. I'm going to finish him off. But I just wanted to put that on, and I just wanted to shout out to the AMX 12T. It's one of those beautifully formed little tanks that people just don't really play. It's in the tech tree, it has a fairly high skill bar, but actually if you play the tank it will improve you and make you think about the game. Anyway, a little bit of food for thought. See ya, bye.